Hello, everyone. Welcome to Imani's Light Work Keys to Akasha section of my channel. For those of you who are visiting or you newly subscribed, welcome. I hope that you decide to stay. For those of you who have been here from the beginning of time, I greatly appreciate your continuous love and support. Okay, so the case that I am going to be covering today is actually her name has been in my head for a while now. I think since I believe since the beginning, or probably even before the beginning of last year. Her name has been in my thought process for a while. I just didn't get a chance to cover her case yet, but her name was Sarah Guyard Guillot. I believe that's French. She was a Virgo. She was born September 12th, 1981, and she died June 29, 2013, just 31 years old. She was a Las Vegas Cirque du Soleil aerialist performer. So the reason for her passing is that I believe she had like a harness. She was an aerialist, so they usually do those air performances and those acrobatic moves, but they do it at an elevated height, 100 feet, between 70 something, 100 feet in terms of height. So what happened was, I believe she was attached to a harness, but her harness slipped from the wire, or the safety wire that it was attached to. Okay, so I wanted to see what was going on. There had to be a reason that, because the thing is, I knew about this story for years, or I heard about it in the news years ago, but I just found it interesting that her name kept coming into my energy space all the time. So I felt that there may be some part of her case that is there's speculation. I think people are still, 2013, someone could still be looking into it. Someone could even be questioning, the other aerialists, or the other performers. Someone could be questioning the management of the circus and those kind of things. Okay, but let's see what's going on. I kept seeing the devil card in there all the time. So I don't know if she was dealing with a Capricorn of any kind. She could have been. But one thing that was coming to mind was, I don't know if it's giving me an S word. So I don't know if this is either smart, or it's either smart or it's small. So I don't know. She could have been petite. Or something could have just been small about the straps that she was given. But that's what was left. So when I said that, that's what was left. She could have had, they could have given her small straps. They could have given her small straps, but they told her that there's the small straps, or the spirit emphasizing that the straps were small, is that they may not have been her size, and someone could have said to her, we're out of your size straps, we're out of your size harness. But there was another one. So when I said it, there was another one, but someone's trying to tell her that there's no more of the size straps that she actually is supposed to be wearing, okay? If that's the case. The Three in Wands energy is underneath. Three in Wands energy, you're dealing with collaborations, you're dealing with an audience. It's telling me something about the audience with Three Wands, with this kind of feeling here. They did say that the audience, unfortunately, the audience did witness her tragic falling. Okay. And the other performers were already in the air, so they were unable, at least the article said, they were unable to come down in time to even, helplessly, they were unable to come down and help her to see, really give a helping hand to figure out what was going on. But I also get the Three of Wands is also giving me this energy of management. So this could be the management of the theater that she was performing in, the management of the circus or the Cirque du Soleil. That whole something's corrupted. So when I say that something could be corrupted about the organization that she was working with, something could be corrupted about it. But at the same time, the reason, I mean, if it is, the reason for it could be that they need funding, better straps. They need funding, they need better straps, and those kind of things. If they're going to give that out to people, if they're going to, really hook up people and elevate them to that high, elevate them to that height, and they need to make sure that it keeps giving me, it's telling me about funding all the time. So funding a funding issue may be behind the scenes of how I almost said seams, like seamstress, or seams, the seams, what do you call those, the seams of an outfit, the threading and those kind of things of an outfit. It was scratchy. Something could have been scratchy about that also. So I don't know, like people who perform in these kind of people who do these kind of performances, they're usually dressed in shiny outfits and things that, I mean, it could cause itchiness. It could cause those kind of things as well because of the sequence and that kind of material. But I was also feeling that the issue with the straps from the beginning was that the reason for her even receiving, like from the beginning, the reason for her even receiving a harness that she's saying is too small, or it didn't fit, it wasn't her size. That could be lack of funding. That could also be a reason, tied into the reason into why the organized, or the what do you call it, the circus was losing funding, or they had a lack of funding. And the lack of funding implies that that's the reason into why they ended up giving her a harness that didn't fit properly. Or she could have also had something was also scratchy or itchy that was on her, or that was given to her to wear, and that could also be the too small or too tight or too loose, whatever it was. The starting point has the King of Pentacles energy. So the King of Pentacles, this could be a Taurus. It's predominantly a Taurus male. It could be Capricorn male, Virgo male. She was a Virgo female. So I don't know. Manager. So this person, the King of Pentacles energy does not have to be, they don't even, I always make sure that I go both ways with this, because just so that it's clear. But the King of Pentacles is showing up as her manager, but her manager earth sign, her manager doesn't even have to be a Capricorn or Virgo, or what do you call it, or a Taurus male necessarily. Her manager could be a totally different zodiac sign, but embodying King of Pentacles energy, but threw something out, or they threw something away, like they threw something out. I don't know what that means. They threw something out, or they threw something away, but it's bringing me back to straps. So oh, I see. I don't know if this is before performance. This could be something that happened before the performance. This could have happened before, where discarded. Something was discarded before the performance. I don't know if this is like a particular kind of strap. I don't know if this is like a particular kind of strap, or this is a harness that she was supposed to use, but it was discarded. A harness that she was supposed to use, it was discarded. So I don't know, her manager or someone else that worked on this team of performers, someone could have discarded someone but didn't like her also. Someone, this energy, if they were her manager, they didn't like her, or they could have also been someone else that was on a team, but it's giving me a manager. So this could be someone that she was directly communicating with about straps and harnesses and those kind of things. But it keeps telling me that they discarded something. So, and it's giving me a before the show kind of feeling. So whatever she ended up with on her, that wasn't supposed to go on her. So so she could have been forced. This energy could have forced her to put that on, but discarded the right one. So the King of Pentacles energy gave her. The King of Pentacles energy gave her a different harness with a different straps or wiring. They gave her that, but they gave it to her, but the one that they gave her, she wasn't supposed to wear that because the one that was wouldn't have messed up. The one that they discarded, the one that they end up discarding, it wouldn't have snapped or it wouldn't have broken, but the right one, they end up discarding the right one. The one that she ended up wearing, it broke or it snapped. That was okay. It broke or it snapped, but that's only because aware that that needed to be replaced. This person was aware that that needed to be replaced. So the one that she was supposed to wear, they got rid of for whatever reason. It could be, I don't know if this is accidental. It could be an accidental situation, but on purpose. So something around that could have also happened on purpose. But the reason for it is that this person may not have liked her for some reason. Like they may not have liked her. So they ended up giving her a strap that was broken, or the strap, they ended up giving her a strap that was broken and discarded the right strap, however you want to look at that. The wedding position has the Seven of Pentacles energy, so all this earth sign energy is here. It's hers and that of the King of Pentacles energy with the Seven of Pentacles. But they wanted money. So the Seven of Pentacles in the wedding position with the King of Pentacles is that they wanted money. And the wanting money, I see what's going on here. I see what's happening. I see what's happening here. The harness that she was given, it wasn't good. The harness that she was given, it wasn't good. This person, but that was a tactic that they did. So this person ended up giving her a bad harness, but the reason why they gave her a bad harness so they could receive funding. They gave her a bad harness so that they could sue. I don't know, so that they could sue and receive, or so that they could complain. This could be her manager. Her manager could have been one that was connected to either these are two different managements here. So that one management is the circus that she worked for. The other management could be the one for the Las Vegas venue that she was performing in. So it could be two different managements here. One management is providing the harnesses, but that was their tactic. So the King of Pentacles energy, that was their tactic. The other, not the management. I don't know, the management of the circus management could have been responsible for doing that as a tactic to receive funds so they could receive better equipment and those kind of things. But I also feel like the management of the place that she was performing in, their equipment, so they could sue. Their equipment, they wanted to make it seem like their equipment was bad so that they could sue. So what's happening, they discarded. So what's happening here is that they're discarding a harness. So the harness that she had on, okay, was the harness that she had on. It really wasn't good, but it could have belonged to the Las Vegas venue. Like, this is like two different situations, not situations of management, or two different managements here. I don't feel like this is something, it could have belonged to the surface. It could have belonged to the circus, but I also feel like it could have belonged to the Las Vegas venue, provided a harness. They could have provided a harness for her to use, but what's happening here, that the harness that she's receiving is from the Las Vegas venue. And okay, the harness she received is from the Las Vegas venue, but it wasn't good. So what happened here is that the reason for it not being good was that throw company under the bus is King of Pentacles. The reason why they did that is so that they could throw the company under the bus as well. Like, that was a tactic that they did so they could throw the company under the bus. This could be a situation here where I don't know if the circus or the management of this circus felt underfunded. So they felt underfunded. So what's happening here is that this Las Vegas venue is providing them with equipment. They're providing them with harnesses and things of that nature. But what's happening, they felt underfunded. So this person or whoever, this person's tactic, I'm trying to take my time with this. There's a lot of information. This person's tactic is to take a broken heart. This person's tactic is to dig through the dirt, or dig through a whole bunch of dig through a pile of harnesses just to find one faulty one, in the ones that were provided by the Las Vegas venue. But that was their tactic. Ended up giving it to her, and that was their tactic in order to receive better funding. Or for some reason somebody felt like the circus was underfunded, so they gave her a bad harness on purpose. They gave her a bad harness on purpose so that they could receive funding. This could also be a situation here where they may have been feeling like, what do you call it? They may have been feeling like that the Las Vegas venue wasn't going to pay the circus enough. They may have been thinking that they weren't going to pay them, or they were going to end up paying them very little. But I keep getting tactics, so that was a shady tactic that they had. But they had to really dig far deep to find. This could be a situation here where this harness that she was given. The harness that she was given could have been a part of the material that the circus already had. That could have been there, but that could have been theirs, and they could have said, it's not ours. It belongs to the Vegas, whatever. I don't know what the name of the venue was. It belongs to the venue. It's not ours. And that could have been something. That could be why they were trying to throw that company under the bus for some reason. You know what I mean? The circus felt underfunded. I don't know if it could be the circus that felt underfunded, or the company, or that Las Vegas venue. They could have felt that way as well. That could have been it. They both had this between the circus and the venue, and the Las Vegas venue that the performance was taking place at. Both of those companies could have felt underfunded. But the tactic is to give her a messed up harness so that she could fall, so that somebody could sue. Wow. The present has the Nine of Wands energy is in the present here. The Nine of Wands energy is fire sign. Somebody could have been a fire sign energy there. I'm looking at them. They could also be end up arguing with. They could also be embodying fire sign energy, because someone, and a performer ended up arguing with this person that the spirit was saying was her manager. So the Nine of Wands performers, the Nine of Wands is the energy. I don't feel like anybody in the audience got a chance to even really say anything during. I just feel like they were just so much in shock that they didn't have time to really jump up on stage and really help anyone. But one did. So when I said that, one person from the audience. One person out of the audience somewhere, however many people, it said one. So one person out of the audience could have flew up on stage and ran to the area where she fell. But the other people that were performing, they arguing after. The Nine of Wands is that the other performers ended up arguing after. Even if they were up in the air and they couldn't reach her when she fell, or they end up seeing her fall. But they couldn't do anything because they're already up in the air. But they arguing with the management. They end up arguing with the circus management or the management of the venue that they were performing in. Whatever it is. But was aware, I feel like one of the performers The Nine of Wands here in the present also, I feel like one of these, if this is the energy of the performers only, I feel end up arguing. I feel like one of them, however many of them, could have been nine of them. One of them ended up arguing with her manager, but shared manager. So another person, another performer, that was an aerialist as well. They shared a manager. So between her and another female, between her and another male, they shared the same manager there. But something is also cryptic. So the Nine of Wands, somebody could have been having a cryptic conversation. Something could have been cryptic about a conversation that her, what do you call those people? Like a co, what do you call those people? Like a co-performer, someone that like another, I don't know what you call those people, like your partner performer. I don't know. But the other person or the other performer, they shared the same manager with her. But there was also a cryptic conversation that happened between the manager and one of these aerialists here, but they didn't want her to find out something. So the Nine of Wands, they didn't want her to find out something. So I don't know if this is a conversation between. This could be a conversation that she. Okay, this could be a conversation that happened before she was strapped up to go up. This could be a conversation that but happened two different times. So if that's factual, then it happened two different times. This is a conversation that happened before they leveled her up into the air to be suspended. There's two different conversations here. There's a conversation that she overheard. There's a conversation that she may have overheard before she was harnessed up. And there's also a conversation happening here with her manager and a performer that shared the same manager as her, but they could have ended up having a conversation after she fell or when she was sent or on her way to the hospital. They could have been I keep getting cryptic. They could have been having a cryptic conversation. So either another performer, okay, another performer, like a third performer, another performer heard a conversation between her manager and another performer, and something is either happening there before she got up, before they gave her the harness. But that's what they were talking about before that conversation happened, before she was even given the harness. That happened before she was given the harness, So what's happening here, something's also, the Nine of Wands is that one of those performers aware of a plan. One of those performers ended up being aware of a plan that was happening also. They were aware of a plan because they walked by and they heard a conversation between another performer and her manager. But the harness, something is too tight also. So that's why I said too small or too tight, the outfit, the harness and those kind of things. The conversation has to do with them discarding the actual size. The conversation had to do with them discarding, oh, I see what's going on here. The conversation between the performer, another performer, or her and this person, she either she is or another performer arguing with another performer may have ended up arguing with her manager about giving her a harness that was too tight. So I feel like this could have been a situation here where she could have been given whatever she was given to put on. Something was too tight about it, or she knew something was too loose, or she knew something was uncomfortable or too tight about it. Try to complain about that. So that's why the Nine of Wands is here. The Nine of Wands in the present is that she may have tried to complain to her manager about that, but that's all that's left. They could have just kept saying to her, that's all that's left there. We don't have any more. But she doesn't know what's happening. She doesn't know. But I get as she was going up also, she doesn't know that they discarded the right size, or there was one that would have ended up fitting her properly if they didn't discard it. And that could be something. This is interesting. That could be something that another performer was trying to tell her. It's giving me that feeling. That could have been something that, oh, I see. Oh my God, this is craziness. That could have been something that another performer was trying to tell her as she was getting lifted as they were, I don't know what the process would be called for that. As she was getting lifted, like off the ground, as she was getting lifted, that could be what, that's why I said cryptic. That could be what another performer hint to her. They were trying to hint to her, your harness is going to snap. as she was raising, as she was going up, as they were elevating, another performer is trying to be, they're being cryptic, or they're trying to hint to her from the side that that's going to snap as you're as it gets higher and higher, it's going to snap. So that's why the Nine of Wands energy is in the present. That's why I said cryptic conversation. She's trying to ask someone. She's trying to ask someone before she's going up. She's trying to tell someone this is uncomfortable. It's too tight. Like they're trying to tell her that there's no more. But they really discarded the one that she was actually supposed to have on her. But what's also happening, she's just taking what she's given. But should have checked. So when I said that, she should have checked to see if there was another one that would have been safe to put on. She should have checked. Something's going on with should have checked. Or another performer, there was another performer that heard or saw that interaction happening, and that could also been what the bad timing. Yes, that could have also been what they were trying to do. But for her, they may have tried to stop the performance, pause the performance. Let me go look for a harness that she could put on that's safe to put on. That's the voice of another performer to the manager. That's the voice of another performer, because another performer could have been shady. That could be a possibility. I did say someone was trying to hint to her that something was wrong with her thing, but another performer noticed some type of shade between her manager and another performer that knew that the right harness that she was supposed to have on got discarded in the sense where it could have just got tossed somewhere that she wouldn't be able to find it. You know, as simple as that. They could have tossed it somewhere, like behind something, so she wouldn't find it or even know where it was. And a different performer was told, I'll give them fake names for a second because I don't know their names. Amy is being told, I'll just go with John being the manager for a second. John is telling Amy is the one that's having a conversation with John. I discarded her harness that she's really supposed to have on. I discarded it. Then Natasha, I'm just making up names. Natasha is noticing the conversation between Amy and John. And Natasha is the one that's in the air that's trying to hint to Sarah. I heard that conversation. They're talking about how they discarded the harness that you were supposed to have on. Wow. So, but she's not able to hint that to her. For some reason, because of the timing, she's not able to hint that to her until they're being elevated up. Wow, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Don't catch me on a harness. The Page of Pentacles energy is in the future. That could be her energy there, or there's not an earth sign energy going on here. That could be her energy there in the future. The Instincts has the Five of Swords energy. So what she heard. So the Five of Swords is what she heard, or what the cryptic conversation and the hinting that somebody was supposed to do, that could have been a situation, or somebody was doing with her as she was going up in the air. But they didn't want to scare her. So the Five of Swords didn't want to scare her also. Somebody may not have wanted to scare her, you know? They may not have wanted to scare her as well. Because this is also a situation here where one performer is observing the manager. It's giving her, okay, this could be a situation, whatever it is. One performer didn't want to scare her energy is that one situation that didn't want to scare her was that they could have one situation is that they could have some snapping. They could have just been, they noticed that something was starting to snap. They just noticed that something was starting to snap. The starting to snap, that could go both ways. The starting to snap could literally be the wiring. The starting to snap could be the wiring. The boss. The starting to snap could literally be the boss. Could literally be her manager. Could literally be the boss. Because more than one also. So I feel like there's more than one. This is about to get really interesting. I feel like this is more than one manager, more than one, what do you call that? What do you call those people? There's more than one manager here, I feel like. The Spirit just said there's more than one King of Pentacles energy that is showing up here. Whatever Earth sign energy, that there's more than one of them. So, oh my God. This is out of control. This is interesting. Okay, let me just rewind for 1 second. The spirit just said there's more than one of them, and it's bringing me down another whole totally different situation now, where the Five of Swords, her manager, okay, interacting, her manager could have ended up interacting with a different manager, like the manager, her manager in the circus. That's one. Interacting with one that worked at the Las Vegas menu. They got in it. So when I said that, they got in it with each other. They got in it with each other about the harness. So what's happening? This could be a situation here where, oh my God, this is a lot of information. I don't even know how to get. This is a lot of information here. It's taking me down different alleyways of information here, because, oh my God. Okay, let me try to take my time with this as slowly as I possibly can. Her harness belonged. I'll go with these two different examples first. Her harness belonged to either the Las Vegas venue, and they gave that, and they were trying to give that to her to wear, or that could be part of the conversation that one manager of the Las Vegas venue could have been interacting with her manager about that. But the thing about it is, the Seven of Pentacles energy in the waiting position is that how they could have had, I don't know how many performers there were. They could have had, that's why I said lack of funding and funding. They could have either thrown the company under the bus, or literally lack of funding, in the sense where somebody may not have wanted to pay for a working harness for her to wear. That could also be another situation, but that's what they argued about. So the Nine of Wands, that could be what they ended up, and the Five of Swords, that could be what they ended up arguing about. So this could have been an argument before she got up in the air. This could have been an argument that happened on the floor before she was strapped up, where someone is telling someone, she could have gotten involved with that as well, but went with it anyway. She could have been involved with it at some point as well, but she went with what she was given anyway. I got that earlier on. But this could be a situation here where her harness, paid for, it may not have been paid for. The harness that she was supposed to wear. I'll give you a perfect example. This is a company. This is a company where people, I'll give you a perfect example. Say, this person's King of Pentacles energy ordered a certain amount. They ordered or they got shipped in, whatever. They ordered a certain amount or a certain number of working harnesses. Like, that could be a situation of working harnesses here. But what's happening with this is that for some reason, the harness, for miscount also. I'm looking at them, and they miscounted something. They miscounted the number of harnesses that they were supposed to order. That could have been a situation also. They miscounted something as well. They could have miscounted something. So what's happening here, I don't know if this is like, this is a lot. For some reason, this is getting really hefty to really, oh my God, this is a lot of information. This is her harness. Okay. They're miscounting. And the issue with the money and the funding is that they're ordering harnesses, but company had to pay for it. They're ordering harnesses, but the company had to pay for the harnesses. But what's happening here is that the one that she was given is not a functional one. It's not a good one. But the reason for that, forgot to pay for hers. The reason for it is that because they didn't get a chance, or they couldn't pay for hers because they ordered a certain number of harnesses or some type of equipment. They ordered a certain number of wires, whatever it is, the harness, the wiring, whatever it is, and the cost of it became an issue, and they couldn't pay for it anymore. So asked company. So what happened is they could have ended up asking the company. They could have ended up asking the Las Vegas, whatever the company, the Cirque du Soleil company. They could have ended up asking the company, can you fund or can you pay for missing harness? Can you fund or can you pay for the missing harness? But I was also getting that something was discarded. also. Something was also discarded, but I keep getting that was their tactic. Oh, I see what's going on here. This is, let me rewind. They're paying, didn't really want to pay. They're paying for a certain number of harnesses here, or wires, or whatever it is. They're paying for that. They could have ended up, a portion of it, they could have a portion of it that could have been expensive. Yes, a portion of it could have came out of their pocket. But what's happening here, company needed funding. Their organization here, their company, it needed funding. But what's happening here is that they could have really, they could have had to come out of their own money to pay for a harness, but didn't want to do that. So that could have been an option that they were given, but they didn't want to do that. So what's happening here is that she's being given a harness or wiring that's shoddy. It's not good, but that's just a tactic so that they could get their money back. That's just so that they could get their money back, or so that the company that she was in with this person, that's why the Seven of Pentacles is there. The company that she's in with this person, so that they could get the money back, so the company could get it back, or so that he could get his money back, because he may have had to come out of, I almost said harness. He may have had to come out of go into their own personal account for some reason to pay for her harness. You know, that could have been a situation. Or something about the cost of the wiring or the harness. Something about the cost or the wiring or for the harness or that they had to use. He didn't want to pay for hers. He could have also just didn't want to pay for hers for some reason. He didn't want to pay for it and took one and was offered one to give her that wasn't good. But one of those elements also discarded a functional one. But the reason for that is, so this is like I'll give you a perfect example also. This is like ordering excuse me. This is like ordering like a box of glasses, or like a box of what's the situation? This is like ordering a box of what do you call that? Ordering what do you call those things? Ordering like a box of champagne glasses, for example. But one of them is scratched. One of them is scratch. But what's happening here, I keep getting didn't want to pay for. Every time I'm touching this energy here, they didn't want to pay for something, but that could have been literally what happened to her, or that could have been a conversation that happened between another performer and the manager, one of these managers here, where I'll go back to the glass example. This is like ordering like a box of champagne glasses, but one of them is scratched, but to not make it obvious, or to even get the money back, or to even get the money back, it's damaging the glass more, but refund. The spirit agrees with the example. Damaging the glass, it just had a scratch, but damaging the glass more, so that they could just return everything, back. And that was a tactic that this person had here. So her wrong harness, something was expensive with the harnesses. So her wrong messed up harness was a tactic. But what's happening here is that one messed up harness caused the other get sent back. That one messed up harness ended up that was a plan to end up getting all the rest of the wiring and the harnesses sent back to where they got the company that made them, to get sent back to the company that made them. And that was a tactic that somebody had there. That's why the Five of Swords is there, because heard part of that conversation. She could have also heard part of that conversation on days prior, or I don't know how, it could be 5 hours or 5 days, or however, it could have been a week. She could have heard those kind of conversation. But that's what they did to another performer. Somebody could have had that idea. Somebody could have had that idea with another performer, not her. That could have been something that she just heard that happened to another performer before that happened to her. You know, receiving like a bulk. What do you call it? Receiving things in bulk, like a bulk supplies and materials and those kind of things. And one of them isn't right, and they're complaining. I spent all this money on this, and only for one of them, however many of them, only for one of them to be messed up in this way. So what I'm gonna do is So what I'm gonna do is, I want my money. This person's voice. What I'm gonna do is, I want my company's money back. I want my own money back. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to make the they're like, make the harness worse, make it worse, or discard one that was actually good. But there's two different situations here where harnesses that they ordered are harnesses that the company ordered. One of them may have been faulty, or the ones they could have received ones from the Las Vegas company as well, whichever company, Cirque du Soleil company. But somebody's idea was to make something worse so that they could get their money back, make something worse, or so that they could receive funding, or I also was getting from the beginning, throw some type of company under the bus also. That could be a thought that somebody did have here, or that could have been something prevent. That could also have been something that someone was trying to prevent from happening. Somebody was trying to prevent that from happening also. So if someone was trying to prevent that from happening, the broken harness, I'll give you a perfect example. The broken harness that she had on could have belonged to her company. The one that was good that she was supposed to wear could have belonged to one that belonged to the Las Vegas venue, or they offered that to her. So they either offered her a bad one, or the company that they're saying that they came out of pocket for, that they ordered the harnesses for, that had the one harness in it, that company, the circus company, it was their harness, but that was their tactic so that they could receive money back. So they could receive money back. So it either was theirs or borrowed. So if it was not theirs, it was borrowed. Some part of it was borrowed there as well. Some part of it was borrowed. Oh my God. Out of control. The Three of Cups energy is in the accomplishment, right next to getting talked about. So the Three of Cups is right next to the King of Pentacles, because they end up getting talked about after the performance. They end up getting talked about after. That's why the Three of Cups is right next to them. Or they themselves management. They themselves are management, yes. Or they were talking about management, or they were just trying to throw some type of the company that they were in with the circus. They could have been trying to throw. That's why I said there's more than one of them here. They could have been trying to throw the company under the bus, but still doing that. So when I said that could be something that they still do. That's something that they still do. That's something that they still do. That could be something that they still do. However many King of Pentacles energies are here. One of them is arguing to another. One of them is arguing to another and saying, I switched. One of them is arguing or talking about to the other, I switched the harnesses. I switched the wiring. Or that was the Five of Swords energy. The Five of Swords. Oh, I see what's happening. Oh my God. Wow. This is really out of control. That's why I said the Five of Swords energy with somebody telling her, somebody didn't want her to be scared, is because she's getting elevated. But what's happening, she could have heard some type of conversation. Okay, she heard a conversation like that happening before she ended up going up. Or another performer was just aware of that. But they're arguing about or somehow, I don't know, Five of Swords is that she could have ended up hearing or seeing something. She could have ended up seeing something on the ground. Like she could have seen them arguing on the ground, or yelling. Somebody could have been yelling and arguing on the ground about the harness as she's going up. So another performer, as she's getting raised up in the air, another performer is hinting to her, look down. Another performer is hinting to her, look down. Look down for a second. Look down. They're arguing. Look at the conversation that it was too late though. So what was going on is that she's getting raised up, but it's too late. So the look down The looking down is another performance voice. The looking down is another performer telling her to look down, because they could have been, I don't know what the stage looked like necessarily. They could have been but heard the conversation, or they just heard or saw somebody, I don't know, somebody could have been going off and complaining about the harnesses and it being switched and those kind of things, you know, whatever it was. Somebody is telling her to look down or don't look down. Somebody could have been telling her, I was getting looked down. Someone was telling her to look down, because they may have been arguing or throwing up hands, because she's already getting risen up in the air, and for some reason, they can't level her back down. For some reason, they couldn't level her back down, because it may have ended up getting stuck at one point. That could have been some that tried to do that. She could have gotten stuck also. They could have tried to level her out of the realization that something was switched. Her manager, somebody saw her manager do something. The management of the Las Vegas venue saw her manager throw a fit or throw a tantrum, whatever, or throw the harness that she was supposed to have on. They saw them throw it somewhere or hide it somewhere. That's why I said discarded. They saw them throw it somewhere. Saw them hide it somewhere. And she's going up, and they're trying to tell them it's getting stuck, jammed. It's getting jammed, and come back down. Come back down. But he would have lost his job. So I'm looking at the King of Pentacles. He would have lost his job, his position. If they managed to, he would have ended up losing his job, his position. Or that could be a battle that he could have ended up, somebody could have ended up having to go to court here as well. Or they did or they didn't. They did or they did not end up having to go to court. You know what I mean? And end up having to really save themselves from end up having to save themselves for whatever it is. Whatever it is that they attempted to do, they did attempt to do, or whatever the reason it was for them to even do that. The arguing, look down. They're down there talking about the harness. They're down there talking about it. Or that could have been another performer, that's like I said, another performer hinting that to her, wanted her to see. Somebody wanted her to see that conversation. So either this is a conversation that she's hearing before she's being pulled up into the air, but at two different times. It's telling me two different times. So one situation, she could have heard some type of conversation that happened there, but she may not have been listening for some reason to the conversation. Then there's another situation where she's getting pulled up. It's not reversible. She's getting pulled up, and for some reason they can't bring her back down. It's stuck or it's jammed. And that could have been what they were arguing before she fell. That could have been what they were arguing about as well. But somebody was just aware that the wiring wasn't good. They were aware of it before they even handed it to her to hand it to her to put on. They were aware of it. Or when she had it on. After the fact, when she had it on and she's not coming back down, they're getting scared. The King of Pentacles, she's not coming back down. I see what's going on here. This is a situation here where their tactic was just to have something jammed. Like, that's really crazy, but their tactic was to just have something jammed. Like, they just wanted something to be jammed for a little bit, but they may not have been thinking that she was going to fall. Like, that could be a situation as well. They may not have been thinking that she was going to end up falling. I don't know if they were not. But somebody's idea was to just have it jammed for them to get money back for the company. Just to have it jammed. That could have been someone's idea that they had. Whatever it was, just for it to jam. But they didn't think that. That's why I said they weren't thinking that she was going to fall that far. They weren't thinking that she was going to fall that far. But it was just a tactic for them to get refund. It's just a tactic for someone to get a refund on something, on that harness, on the wire. They may have been trying to. Just have her just suspended. They were trying to have her just be suspended. Like somebody was just thinking that she would just end up being suspended in the air, not being able to move, but she ended up falling. She ended up falling from that really far. The spiritual self has the Libra. There's Libra energy here now in the spiritual self. Just got really dark for some reason. Strange. The Libra energy is in the spiritual self. The Five of Swords could be the Libra that's right here in her spiritual self, could be a person, could be another performer. That could be the energy of another performer that was interacting with her. The Libra could be someone that worked in the management. There's a Libra. Whoever the Libra, the King of Pentacles energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, male, whatever. King of Pentacles energy. You got these energies, men here, and then you have a Libra. That could be could be a female or a male energy that she was. It could be the energy of another aerialist that was trying to tell her, that kept being cryptic. They just kept being cryptic with her. The Seven of Pentacles knew about a money deal. The Seven of Pentacles right next to them is that they knew about a money deal. Like they knew about a money deal that a manager had, or managers had planned there. But I keep feeling this feeling of, they didn't think that she would fall. Like they may not have been thinking that she was going to fall. Like they may have been thinking that she would have just gotten stuck for a couple of minutes, or just suspended for a while, not being able to do, the different movements that the aerialists do. You know what I mean? It's giving me this feeling of a terrible prank. Somebody deemed it to be, somebody's idea of it in the beginning was like someone was a prank in the sense where a prank, like it was supposed, like somebody had it already planned out to happen. Like somebody had it planned out already to happen the way it did. But the crazy part of it is that they didn't think that she would end up falling that far, or falling at all. And it could be a situation here where they could have known that she would end up falling, but they didn't think that she would fall and die. They could have just been thinking that she fall and injure herself, and her claim should save company as well. Her claim, if she fell and injured herself slightly, she could have filed, and I see what's going on. She could have filed a claim against the company, and that also could have caused a loss in money for the company that she was working for, and that hence the reason for them giving her a harness, hence the reason for someone complaining about funding and giving her a broken heart so she wouldn't complain, hence the reason for someone giving her a broken harness so that she wouldn't end up complaining. So I don't know if she got in an accident before. That could have been an issue. I don't know. This is sprain. So when I said that she could have ended up having a sprain at some point before this performance. Oh, I need light. She could have ended up having some type of sprain at some point. At a different performance, or before she passed, she could have been performing somewhere else. With the same company, and they may not have wanted her to, whatever kind of sprain. It could have been a sprain that she got from it could have even been a sprain that she received, that she got from some other kind of attachment, some type of outfit, some type of other harnessing situation, whatever it is that they wear at these circuses. Whatever it is that they have them put on, she could have gotten. She said sprain, so she ended up with some type of sprain at some point from a different performance, not this one. So they may have been fearing what the sprain that she had. They could have been fearing Sue. They could have also been fearing that she would end up, however bad the sprain was, some type of injury that she had from another performance in the past before this one. They could have been fearing that she would end up suing the management of the circus. They may have ended up fearing that. So I don't know, something could have been going on with her. And something could have also been going on with her functionality as a performer, period. Something could have been going on with the functionality, how she functioned as a performer as well. That could have been a really evil way that somebody had designed in their brain somewhere to scheme her in that way. You know, she could have something. She could have been multiple. She could have. There could have been a situation here where that's why the justice is in her spiritual self. She could have been in a situation here where she, in the past, before this performance, she could have been making multiple mistakes. She could have been just making multiple mistakes with some type of practice that she was doing in a different performance. But didn't know how to let go of as well. Like didn't know how to fire. I know it's really crazy. Somebody didn't know how to let her go. And before this happened, somebody didn't know how to let her go. Like someone didn't know how to lay her off from what do you call it? How to lay her off out of the company. So somebody's idea was this. Somebody's idea was this. You know? And I see what's happening here. Okay, something is interesting. Somebody, that's why I said somebody having some type of feeling towards her, a manager or another dancer, another performer. Something she's thinking it was a tactic on her. Yes, it was a tactic on her. I'm hearing that over and over again. But the reason for it is some type of skill. Something was going on with her functionality as a performer before this performance. Something was going on with her functionality. So what they kept making plans on her. So they kept making plans on her. Or she may have been using her intuition that because of another performer or someone just having a conversation and her overhearing it, somebody kept making plans on her, or somebody just was, or she somehow became aware that somebody was, or at last minute she became aware that someone was, you know. But she's giving me this feeling of I kept messing up. She's saying that she kept messing up, or she kept missing steps. She kept whatever type of practice. She kept what do you call it? She may not have been the way she was as a performer. She may not have been her moves and whatever it was. It may not have been pristine. Like maybe she didn't get a chance to what do you call it? Maybe she may not have gotten a chance to really what do you call it? To really get a chance to practice and refine her skills as a dancer, as a performer. So somebody could have gotten frustrated. Her manager, whoever, somebody could have just ended up getting frustrated with that. But for some reason, at the same time, she may have just rather them just let her go, you know. Let her go, but they may not have wanted to do that, or for some reason, but couldn't. So letting her go, they couldn't let her go. For some reason, they could not let her go. They couldn't let her go, you know, and let her go in the sense where what happened after, you know, let her go in that way, like also before, like let her go. Somebody wanted to lay her off of being a performer. Somebody wanted to do that. Somebody had that thought. Somebody wanted to do that. I don't know, another performer, a manager, somebody wanted to do that, but they for some reason they couldn't. But try to give her another chance. So the Justice card right next to the Seven of Pentacles, they try, at least they made it seem that they try to give her another chance to perfect what she was working on. They gave her another chance to perfect it. Her skill, her practice, whatever. They gave her another chance to do that. But they gave, whatever it was, they gave her another chance to do it. This could be a situation here also where, I don't know if it feels like they could have also gotten a chance to practice or do some type of practice before they did that part. But that's when she heard something, or that could have been when she heard something, or when somebody did something also. Whatever it was. They could have gotten a chance to review, I don't know what they were supposed to be doing. They could have gotten a chance to practice doing something, some type of move, whatever it was. They could have, but didn't like. I'm looking at King of Pentacles energy. They didn't like whatever it was that she was doing during the practice time. They didn't like it. They didn't like it. That's why the Justice, why didn't they just let me go? The Justice, why didn't they just let me go? You know, why didn't they just let her go instead of letting her stay? If somebody didn't like however she was as a performer, and somebody deep down inside really didn't, why they let her stay? or why they let her stay, whatever it was. And that could be a conversation that she heard. She also needed money also. So I'm looking at the Libra. She could have left on her own. For some reason they couldn't let her go. But for some reason also she could have left on her own. She could have also left on her own, but she also said that she needed money. She needed money. So that could be why she decided to stay with the company or with the management. She decided to stay with them, but she didn't think that they had this kind of this plan on here. Some is by accident as well. Something is also by accident, but I also feel like somebody is receiving money back. Somebody is receiving money back for her accident. Somebody is receiving the money back for it. Or they're getting some type of refund back for it. Her accident. But that's what undercover wanted. That's what somebody undercover wanted. That's what somebody undercover wanted. Or somebody literally got rid of, discarded the harness that she had. Or discarding of the harness could be the broken one, the one that she fell off of. That could have been the one that they discarded as well. But I also feel like one that she was supposed to have on her also discarded. One that she was supposed to have on her also got discarded. Then they also discarded the one that she had that she fell in. But somebody here, management, has some type of interesting tactic here for getting refunds and the company losing money and something going on with her functionality as a performer. Should have left company. When I said that, I should have left the company. She's like, I should have left the company. She's getting raised up in the air. Another performer is trying to hint to her your plan. Another performer is trying to hint to her about a plan or about something that they heard about her harness or about her wires or about her period. Whatever it was, as a performer, at the harness that they gave her, somebody knew. So one of these elements, somebody knew. It could be a Libra. There's Libra here, the King of Pentacles. However many of these elements that are here, somebody just knew that it was going to snap. They knew that she was going to fall. Her functionality. They're talking about her functionality. 3 of Cups right next to them. People keep talking about them. 3 of Cups next to them. People keep talking about them, not her or her situation. It's them. Or what they did, or what they heard, what they saw, what they did, whatever it is that they did. Conversation that they had with the whoever they are, Las Vegas management, the Cirque du Soleil management. They have managers having conversations together. How to refund, how to get company money back. How to get we're losing funding for some reason. Our company is losing funding. This could be a situation here where I keep feeling this feeling of kept messing up. So either it's a Libra that she had attached to her, like a Libra performer. Somebody kept, or I feel like the Libra, I feel they're separate. But justice energy and the spiritual stuff, she kept messing up something. She kept messing up. For some reason, she kept messing up in some area of a performance in the past before this one. She kept messing up for some reason. So that could be why. But then mini shows. They could have done mini shows and those kind of things. And someone may have been seeing that she, I don't know, someone may have been seeing that something wasn't right about her, the way she performed for some reason, and lost some money during mini shows as well. I think that the one that she died at, I think that would have been considered, not a mini show, it's Las Vegas, but that more of a major show. That's more of a major show there. But I do feel like she could have been involved in other mini shows around the town that she was in, or they traveled and they did that kind of stuff. They traveled and I was getting sprains. They're traveling and they're doing mini shows and she's getting sprains of accident prone. She could have been accident prone as a person for some reason. Accident prone before this, not this situation where she's passed, but accident prone, or somebody may have seen her to be accident prone for some reason. Because I don't know, she may have been getting sprains a lot, or she may have been falling down a lot and those kind of things. And she's like, I'm trying to stay. I need the money. trying to stay or I'm trying to stay with these people. I need the money. But someone's giving her chance after chance to perfect, and she's getting sprains and injuries all the time, and so came up with a tactic. So I mean, it's crazy to say, but that's the kind of thought process that they had. They came up with a tactic of what to do. They just came up with a tactic there. Somebody just came up with a tactic, But at the same time, someone didn't know that she would end up falling like that. Someone may have been thinking that she would just end up getting stuck. Whatever it was. The mentality there's your Libra. If this is a Libra female, whatever air sign, there's a lot of people external from her that are here. She could be embodying this too. The Queen of Swords energy is in the mentality. All right, Queen of Swords energy is in the mentality with the five. What they said. That's why I said the Queen of Swords energy. If this could be a Libra, the Queen of Swords energy with the Five of Swords is what they said, or what they talked about after. The Queen of Swords in the mentality with the Five of Swords is what the Queen of Swords energy. What they were talking about after. What they talked about after. Whatever it is. What they talked about after. After, as in like after her passing, after. What they talked about after, however you want to look at after. After could have been what she heard before they got hooked up to their harnesses. After, whatever it is, what they talked about, they still do. I'm looking at them and they still do talk about something. They still do talk about the manager. They still do talk about her, or they just know something secretly. Why her harness broke. They just know why her harness broke. They just know why the wiring snapped. They just know why she fell. They just know why. They just know why. That's why the Five of Swords energy is there. That's why I said they're telling her they know what happened after the looking down or look up or don't look down. Don't look down. That could have been something that she said to her. Was aware. So that could have been something that the Queen of Swords energy was another aerialist performer. The Five of Swords, and that's why it's in her head space. That's why this energy is up in her head space here. This is the head space of the Crux Ansata. The Queen of Swords whispered that. The Queen of Swords energy whispered that to her. Oh, I see. She whispered that to her as they were in the air. She whispered that to her, or she said it really quietly while she was next to her. Don't look down. Just look up. Don't look down. But it was creepy. Like something was creepy about it because it's creepy. That's why the Justice energy is in the spiritual self. It's creepy because this energy was aware of a conversation. It's creepy because they were aware of a conversation that happened prior to her putting on the harness and the wires. They were aware of that conversation. They saw the manager do something. One of those managers, somebody that worked in the behind the stage, whatever. They saw somebody do something. Another performer, whatever the energy was. They just saw or heard somebody do something. So they're being cryptic. And they're whispering. They could have been right next to each other. They're being cryptic and they're whispering. And this energy, the Queen of Swords, is next to her and don't look down. Tell her don't look down. But it was sneaky. Like it was the don't look down. The don't look down could have been what she said to her when they were on the ground before they even gave her the harness. That could have been the situation. And she could have also been next to her, like standing next to her, or they were in the air, so she could have ended up suspended in the air right next to her. She could have been somehow she could have whispered to her and say, "Don't look down," or that was something that she said. That was something that she said before they got harnessed up, before they got elevated. That's why the Five of Swords energy is there. Why did she say that? The Five of Swords and the instincts. Why did she say that to me like that? Why did she say that to me like that? That's why I said creepy. It's creepy that she said that to her. It's creepy that she said that to her. On the floor or while they were up. I mean, I'm thinking if they're already elevated, she wouldn't even... I'm thinking if they're elevated up and music is blasting and whatever kind of music and audio from all ends of the stage, I'm thinking that Sarah wouldn't even get the opportunity to even hear what she said. I'm thinking that's why I said next to. They could have been standing before they even got hooked up to the harnesses. That could have been something that she whispered to her while they were standing next to each other to receive and put on the harnesses. I'm looking at, why didn't she say anything? Why did she whisper all these questions? Why didn't she say anything? Why did she whisper that to me? It's creepy. It's creepy, but she's not. But Sarah isn't really. She may have been thinking that someone just being friendly, but that's the don't look down. The don't look down. There's like a behind the scenes story into why this person is saying don't look down in that way, creepily, because they were aware of a plan that was on her, some type of plan, the harness and the wiring. You know, I feel like they could have also. I don't know if they could have also. What was they could have been, the Queen of Swords energy could have been dealing secretively. The Queen of Swords energy was dealing with this King of Pentacles energy secretively. Like, I don't know if this is intimate secretively or conversational secretively. Something was secretive with them. You know, someone was secretive. I don't know if the Queen of Swords was jealous or envious of Sarah or whatever it was. You know, but scheme. So when I said that someone is scheme like that's happening there, it's a scheme like situation. This could be a situation here where she wanting to leave this organization, or her having that kind of thought, but she's like, I need the money. They wanted her to stay. There's one element here, she could have been receiving favoritism and those kind of things from someone. But the Queen of Swords may have liked the King of Pentacles energy as well. They could have liked them. Her manager, they could have liked them. But I also get bribed. So when I said that, the Three of Cups right next to them, this person was also bribed by Queen of Swords energy to do something, give her something, discard something, whatever it was. Wires, harness, money back, refund. Somebody could have been bribed to receive. They were bribed to. They could have been bribed to receive. They could have been bribed. Them being bribed to receive. That's the case with them. Them being bribed, given something. That's why I said the company and people receiving money after her accident is because they could have received more money after her accident. But they could be receiving, and that could be why they said something cryptically to her, or they whispered something shadily to her behind the scenes before they got harnessed up, or while they were in the air. They could have said it. She could have said that. She could have been in other areas. She could have said that on her own. She could have said that on her own. And just knew that she was gonna the Queen of Swords said it, could have also said it on her own, like to herself, because she knew devious. She knew that, yeah, she could have been devious, yes. She knew that Sarah was going to fall and that they were going to receive money or more money back or get more money back. Wow, that's crazy. But they were also bribed. So they were bribed in the sense where she's whispering that to her. And not telling her, you know, I was bribed to not say anything. She was bribed to not say anything. And she's being sneaky and saying, telling Sarah not to look down. And it's really devious to say to somebody. The Seven of Swords is in the changing position. So the Seven of Swords energy pretty much resides with Libra, whatever Queen of Swords energies is there. The Seven of Swords is but also getting another job. So the Seven of Swords in a changing position is she may have been in the works of trying to get at another company. She may have been in the works of trying to get a job at another company. That could have been something that she was trying to do at that time. She could have been trying to get a different job. You know, she could have been trying to apply to a regular job, to just apply to a regular job. She could have been making plans to do so. That's why the Seven of Pentacles, oh, I see what's going on. Also, the Seven of Swords with the Seven of Pentacles and the Justice didn't want to pay. Seven of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Justice. They didn't want to pay her. They also didn't want to pay her because of her functionality as a performer. Or they just it's because of their bribe. So I'm looking at the Queen of Swords. It's because of their bribe. So it could have literally been the Queen of Swords energy. It could have literally been their idea that snapped with the issue with the harness. It could have literally another performer. They could also be another performer. It's literally their idea. It was literally their idea to have a conversation with King of Pentacles energy. That could have also been why they were arguing as well. They were asked to do something. They were just asked to do something by Queen of Swords. Whatever. You know? Wow. you know. But what's happening here, she could have been making plans to transition out of working with them to look for something else. But somebody could have been aware of taxes, somebody could have been aware of that as well, but they may not have wanted her to get her taxes. And the Queen of Swords energy, the Queen, whatever, King of Pentacles, somebody could be receiving her taxes now. Those elements could be, they didn't want to give them to her. Someone didn't want to, Libra or whatever, King of Pentacles. Someone didn't want to give her those taxes. Or they didn't want her to receive those taxes. So they devised a plan. They devised the plan. Or the money that was supposed to go to her, money that was supposed to her tax money, whatever, from being a performer, her money that was supposed to go to her, it could ended up going into the company. Ended up going into the company. But she receives it. So I'm looking at the Queen of Swords energy. She receives it. Or part of it, she receives it. She receives it. Queen of Swords, Libra, whatever, air sign female. She receives it. Aquarius, female, whatever air sign element that's a female, she receives it. She receives it now. She receives it. Seven of Pentacles. That's why the Seven of Pentacles is right next to the Justice card. I'm not gonna get. Dude, I'm not gonna get. But they didn't want to give. I keep getting. They didn't want to give me my respective pay, because the reason for it is because. The reason for it is because of her accidents. This could be a situation here. This could have been a situation here where she could have been getting paid. You know, whatever situation she had going on, she could have been getting paid to, to not be there on some times, and that could have messed up. That could have also been messing up some part of the performance, because if she's still getting paid for time off because of an injury, that's also her taxes. That's also lost money from the company. If she's getting paid to have time off for an injury from another performance that they had before this one, they're thinking that they're going to lose money in that way, but kept doing that. So Seven of Swords, that could have been something that she kept. That could have been something that they kept doing with her. She kept doing. That was something that she kept doing. She kept doing that, or that could have been something new about. That could have been something that the Queen of Swords energy knew about also. Knew about her. I don't know if I don't know if that was something that she tried to keep quiet about her own self. Whatever. She could have had her own lawyer. And she could have had, what do you call those lawyers that, what do you call those lawyers that they deal with injury and those kind of things? She could have had that kind of stuff to work out. She could have had that worked out in her favor. You know, she could have gotten, and she could have been in a situation here where prior performances, she could have injured herself, but she had a lawyer. She could have had her own lawyer to be present. To say, she could have had her own lawyer to deal with, or deal with behind the scenes, to say that, okay, we have this agreement that when she's injured and she's not here, she should be receiving her pay. She should still be able to receive her taxes there, her pay. You know, someone couldn't stand that. Also, somebody was aggravated by that. She could have had that set up. She could have had that situation set up perfectly. Somebody couldn't deal with it. But why not just leave? So the Justice energy, why not just leave? That could have been something she kept dealing with this organization. Why not just leave this company? You know, or that was something that could have been something that a Libra was saying to her. I don't know. That could have been something that somebody was. I don't know if this person. I don't know if that person. I don't know if the Queen of Swords energy had that issue. I feel like she had that kind of stuff going on, and the Queen of Swords energy couldn't take something there. For whatever reason, and her having her own lawyer because she wanted the money. Because for some reason the company was losing money or losing funding for some reason. But part of the reason for it is because of some type of really good hookup that she had with her own lawyer. Justice represents a law and court and those kind of things, you know. And that could be something that her family is dealing. That could have been something that her family ended up dealing with, by it repeatedly. So when I said it, that's something that her family ended up dealing with repeatedly. Wow, it's crazy. Aries slash There's Libra again. You got double. Now you got Aries. This fire sign energy. There could have been Aries here as well. Aries. You got Aries. Empress energy is Libra. Libra. Aries. Taurus. Whatever King of Pentacles. There's multiple people here. Some of them are performers with angst. Some of them were performers with angst. Some of them they work with the management and they had a plan. Somebody could be embodying the energy. Her mother, I don't know, her mother was living, or a motherly figure that she was attached to, and the resolution going towards, but wanted to talk about new jobs. So she wanted to tell her mother about a new job that she had or that she wanted to get. That's why the Empress energy, or some type of motherly figure, I don't know if her mother is living or not, but the Empress does represent a mom, or the Empress energy is Aries, it's Libra going towards, but didn't want her to work. The Aries, an Aries element, or as if this is not only mother energy or matriarch energy, then it's a Libra that didn't want to see her somewhere, didn't want her to be working. Or didn't want her to receive money from when she wasn't working. If she had sprains and those kind of things, like she was saying that she also had, somebody saying, she's having these conversations with a motherly figure, making plans to leave a job. The Page of Pentacles, energy, it's her energy, and that of other, is also that of a job environment or a new workplace. Was going to go on interview. So she may have ended up, she may have been planning to go on an interview. For some reason, something's going on with planning to go on an interview, but really wanted taxes. So what the Seven of Swords with the Empress and the Page of Pentacles is that somebody really wanted her taxes from this company that she was working in. Somebody really wanted them. So somebody really wanting them, and they're aware that she was making plans. Heard that I was talking about it. So somebody was making. She was making plans. She may have been making plans to. That's why I said transition into another job. She was making plans into transitioning into another company. Transition. It could have been to still do dancing or some other type of work, whatever it was. But somebody was aware that she was going to do that. Someone was just aware that she was going to do that. And that could have been something that the King of Pentacles, one of them, like he's telling me one of them. That's something that one of the King of Pentacles energy was trying to offer her. Or they wanted to offer her. Oh, I see what's happening here. If this person here, I keep getting bribed. This person, like, they may have really liked her, but at the same time, I do feel like somebody heavily bribed them. Like with sex, whatever. Food, water, whatever, money, somebody heavily bribed them with something. And it's Queen of Swords energy. One of the performers, somebody that worked in the management with the company, Libra, whatever. They heavily bribed them. So this is a situation here where that's why I said earlier on in the reading, if she was messing up at some points, they were trying to work with her. Queen of Swords didn't want that anymore. So the Queen of Swords energy, they didn't want that anymore. They didn't want to see that anymore. So then one of these elements here, them trying to work out something with her all the time is that they offering her a gig. They could have also ended up offering her a new gig, but the new gig could have she could have ended up making more money off of the new gig as well. And that could be something that the Queen of Swords and envious of. That could have been something that the Queen of Swords energy was envious of. And however, the Queen of Swords energy was envious or jealous of that for some reason. So the King of Pentacles energy offer, the King of Pentacles, the Spirit said one of the King of Pentacles energies, they're trying to offer her but far away from this person. They could try to offer her something away from the Queen of Swords energy. They're trying to offer her something away from her, so they wouldn't have to work side by side and those kind of things. Or that could be something that she asked for. That could have been something that she just asked for, whatever it is. And Seven of Swords going towards the Empress and the Page of Pentacles, she may not even have been thinking that the Queen of Swords energy had that kind of feeling towards her. It's just that that's why I said overheard conversations and harnesses and those kind of things. You know what I mean? So, a plot and plan. Look at the Queen of Swords, it's a plot and plan with them. That they had that kind of idea. So either they, I don't feel like they did that. I don't feel like they did it on their own. I feel like it took somebody a really hard bribe to do through King of Pentacles energy to even get one of them to even side with the Queen of Swords. But had a good offer. So she could have had a good offer, or she could have said to King of Pentacles, this is what you should be getting. This is what you should be getting out of this company. You know? And they one of them ended up listening to her. But I also feel like Sarah's direct manager, really, I feel like they liked her. They could have liked her over this person. But in order to save her favoritism, she bribed them. She bribed them. Whatever. She bribed somebody. That's why I said it's one of them. She bribed one of them. One of them could have been Sarah's manager. One of them could have been another manager of the Las Vegas venue that threw the harness somewhere. And she's telling one of these King of Pentacles energy, if you throw this good harness, if you throw it somewhere so she wouldn't see, if you discard it, then this is how much you're going to receive back. This is how much you're going to get back for your company. But like from the beginning, it's with one of these elements, it's a tactic for the company to get the money back, and for her taxes, and for her to receive Queen of Swords energy to receive taxes. Sarah's taxes Sarah's taxes are just going to get regenerated back into the company taxes. So that the Queen of Swords energy could get more of it. And that was the tactic that came up with the bribe. So I'm looking at them, they came up with the bribe. But Sarah doesn't know that she could have liked this person. Sarah, she could have liked them or not, whatever. But aware of jealousy. So when I said that she was aware of jealousy with this person, because Sarah herself could have heard cryptic conversations between Queen of Swords energy and King of Pentacles. You know? Money, bribe, harness. Bad harness, switch harness. So that we could get her taxes back into the company. If we're losing money, somebody's thought process is the company is losing money. The company is losing money because of functionality between performers and performers taking time off for injury and getting somebody's hooking up. She's hooking up an injury lawyer or a lawyer to help her with her case. And this person is aggravated by that. And they're like, I want the money back into the company. The company is losing money. The company is losing money because of the injury. Or that could also be, I don't know if that could also be a thought process that some crazy thought process that somebody had after she passed. That could have been a crazy thought process that somebody had after the fact also. If she had survived. Somebody had that thought process, you know? Her lawyer, getting a lawyer involved in those kind of things. And that could be what's happening. You know, that could be what's happening. But the reason why something would work, like the heavy reason why something would even work or not work is it has something to do with where the harnesses even came from. Like which company, the money issue from the beginning, which company even gave the broken harness. But one of the companies didn't even give a broken harness. The harness may have been fine. Whatever it was. And whatever it is. It's crazy. It's a crazy tactic, you know. It's so that she wouldn't. She's potentially getting the opportunity to do another type of work or some other type of job. That's why the Page of Pentacles this could be reincarnation that she has going on with her spirit here also. That's why it's a page. So, I don't feel it heavily. I just feel like that was a gig that she was going to get, that she wanted to share with a motherly figure. If her mother was living or not, I don't know. Motherly figures could be siblings, like a sister or aunt or whoever, a friend. That could have been something she was sharing with this person, you know? And they betrayed her. But their conversation is being deemed as betrayal. They're a conversation that they had. And Five of Swords, what is she talking about? What is she talking about? How does she know about my lawyer? How does she know about my situations here? How does she know about this? Sarah's own lawyer behind the scenes. Sarah's own lawyer could have been behind the scenes here also. Behind the scenes somehow here as well, for some reason. You know? That's why the Five of Swords is there. I don't know if she had a female lawyer. Male lawyer. I feel like one of these elements is a manager of where she was working as a performer, or the Las Vegas place. There's multiple energies that are coming off of this card, so it's like there's more than one of them that's here. It could be more than one of these Queen of Swords energies as well. Libras, air sign females. You know, somebody's a lawyer here also. Her lawyer behind the spirit saying the lawyer is behind the scenes. The lawyer may not be shown up here either. But the Empress energy is giving me like a motherly kind of feeling here also, you know? It's a lot. It's crazy. I would have never thought. I mean, you just never know. Like people really the tactics that people go through when they really need money. It's extreme, you know, it's extreme. It's extreme what people go through here, and her injuries. I mean, they said it. They claimed that she died on the way to the hospital, or at the hospital. You know, this could have been a situation. She could have been in and out of consciousness. She could have been in and out of consciousness as she was passing, and something strange there could have happened with something she heard also. Between her being as she was in and out of consciousness, she could have also heard something strange, you know. Plans, and she's saying that it's plans. These are plans here that she was aware of that happened to other performers. I mean, not in death, not for them to pass, but these could have been plans. The injuries, somebody getting injuries, like this is like a company. This is like, I'll give you a perfect example. Look, a company is giving people equipment and things to use that their idea. I'm just giving a random example. So you get the idea that their idea is to have a certain number of people get injured, and say that, and it's only to throw wherever they got the equipment and material from. It's only to throw that other company under the bus so that they can receive more money. But they're using people as bait for that, though. So this is like so that a park. I'll give you a perfect example here. So, for example, here in New York, I was told, or at least somebody told me, that in order for a place to get, an old store, an old store may want to get fixed. May have some holes and may need patches in some areas, so that they may not have the insurance for it, or the money to get the renovations and those kind of things done. So people purposefully start fires in those stores, and it can even be a home, so that they could just get insurance. So they could get the insurance, so that they won't have to come out of pocket or the company funds to pay to fix it, to get the renovations done. And that could literally be a tactic here that they do. I mean, obviously not that, but just the idea of creating damages just to get the funds back. Creating damages just to get the money back. Wow. All right, let's see what the outcome is here for Sarah. The Eight of Swords energy is bad communication. Yes, it's communication between air sign, and the Eight of Swords, nervous. The Eight of Swords is also nervousness. The Eight of Swords is also nervousness. So I don't know if the Libra, one of these air sign females, I don't know if they became nervous. They could have. I mean, that could have been a possibility. I don't know if they became nervous at one point, or she did. Let me do another outcome. Something here made her nervous at one point. All right. Because I don't know if she was aware. Five of Cups is grief. I don't know if she was aware that. Something was going on with the harness. I mean, not to that extreme. This is like, if you putting on a harness and it's, too tight or too loose or whatever it is. But she could have been told that it was. She was or she wasn't. She could have been told that it was, but she went up, but she put it on anyway. Whatever. So she could have been somebody could have really forcing her to put it on. Somebody. That's why the Eight of Swords is there. That I don't want to put it on. The Eight of Swords. I don't want to put it on. I didn't want to put it on. With the Five of Cups, I didn't want to put it on. Somebody could have really. That's why I said from the beginning. That's the only one we have left. You know, I don't know why she didn't just. I mean, I don't know why she didn't just sit out. You know, if that was the case. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to understand the kind of interaction, because if somebody knows that if this is a situation here where she knows that something is gonna end up being faulty, then she could have just sat out of the performance. But somebody could have said this is the right one. Someone could have also said that this is the right one. Someone could have also said this is the right one. That's why I said from the beginning. Someone's telling her this is the right one. This is the right one. She's getting up. She's going up in the air. They're looking at her. I keep getting sneaky. They're looking at her and they're sneakily looking at her. Because it's not the right one. Five of Cups, Eight of Swords. It really wasn't the right one. And this person knew that. And they're being shady with her and saying, don't look down. So either before or after. They're like, don't look down. You know? The don't look down, if it's not only in the literal sense, the don't look down could also, when people say don't look down, that's also a sign of confidence. That could also be something that could have been going on with her, her confidence level and those kind of things with this person, but demeaning. So a Queen of Swords could have been demeaning towards her for some reason. You know? I don't know if that was something that she kept doing with this person. She could have had some kind of interesting interactions, but she could have been treating. I don't know if she was treating them interestingly. She could have been treating them interestingly as well. I don't know. Because of favoritism that she received from someone. That could have been a possibility. You know, with this person that's here. Or that person was doing that to her. Let's do another outcome here. The Knight of Cups energy is water sign. So the Knight of Cups, there could have been a water sign, as a knight. So a younger water sign energy could have, like I said from the beginning, somebody from the audience, somebody like another teammate or something. That's why the Three of Cups is right next to the only Cups energy, Five of Cups, Three of Cups. And what they did, the Five of Cups with the Three of Cups right next to the King of Pentacles is what they did. With the Knight of Cups energy is what they did there. You know, but the Knight of Cups energy is like an ambulance also. It's cups. It's, you know, it's Knight of Cups is ambulance. Is giving me the energy of the ambulance. It lost consciousness. She lost consciousness at some point here. She lost consciousness because of the fall. And the ambulance taking her to the hospital and those kind of things. You know. Yeah, she really did pass instantly here. I feel that as well. She did pass instantly, okay? But it's because that's a hard fall, you know. That's a hard fall, but what's behind the scenes of the fall is really out of control. Oh, and there's the Taurus again that's underneath. So one of these King of Pentacles could be a Taurus male. Earth sign male. She was a Virgo, Libra, Aries. Well, I don't know if there's another. The Libra's here, so there could be any other. I don't know if the Gemini, Aquarius energies, Libra females that are there, Aries female, Libra female energies that are in the future that are going towards there. King of Pentacles, the only male energy that's there, as well. Wow, it's a lot. As that happen behind the scenes here. A lot. A whole lot. So, I mean, I do feel like, look, I'm looking at them and I do feel like they could still be working somewhere. I feel like I mean, nobody's going to speculate that no one's going to speculate necessarily that they're behind the scenes, you know. in however way they're behind the scenes, whatever it is that they said to her, or they heard someone saying about her before the situation even happened. And King of Pentacles, and talking about the harnesses and the wires and the money and the bribing. Someone was bribed to discard a functional harness. All right. That's Sarah Guyard Guillot. She was a Virgo. She was 31 years old, born September 12, 1981. Okay. If you have questions about this reading, please feel free to email me or send me a direct message to my Instagram. Okay. Be well. Take care. Spirit, go with peace. Bye.